Hello everyone and welcome to Bridge Burner Gaming's video review of Hatoful Boyfriender on PlayStation 4. For people that don't know, this game has been out on Steam for quite some time now, and it's definitely been one that I've been keeping my eye on for ages. Pretty much as soon as I just heard what the game was about, and it can be summed up in sort of 3 words, which you know you'll like this game if these 3 words hook you, and that is Pigeon Dating Simulator. Yes, that is right. This is a Japanese text-based, almost like one of those interactive novels you get, where you are a human, and it's important to remember this, you are a human girl that has gone to St. Pigeon Nation's school, which, as you can see here, is a school blessed with extensive curricula and facilities, and the entire faculty of this school, all the teachers, cleaners, doctors, all the other students, they are all pigeons. So you are the only human at this school. You're a human girl at this school, St. Pigeon Nations. So I mean, as soon as I first heard the premise of the game, I was hooked, and I needed to know, I needed to play, I needed to get my teeth into it. And to be completely honest with you, I was actually pretty shocked at how much I did actually just genuinely enjoy this game. Like, of course, the opening stuff, as you can see here, Ryuta, all the pigeons and birds in the game are just sort of like JPEG, cardboard cutout photoshops of real pigeons. But yeah, like I was saying, I was expecting this game to be just completely stupid, a bit rubbish, not very good, just quite a gimmicky sort of like, you know, way to waste a few pounds. But actually, as you play it, it does have this certain charm and sort of human touch to it that actually really sort of like sets it apart from, you know, all the sort of like preconceptions you might have had. You know, the game doesn't take very long to play through. You can get through each scenario in probably around about an hour and a half to 2 hours at the very, very most. And those subsequent playthroughs are obviously a lot shorter because you can skip through a lot of the text that you've already read. So the idea of the game is that you can romance pretty any one of these pigeons that you know you come across, whether it's your teacher or any of your other fellow students or any other pigeons you meet out and about. And yeah, like I said, every time you start the game, you get the same intro, which is what you're getting here. There's Kazukai, your teacher, who was the person that I romanced, or the pigeon that I romanced in the first bit of the game. Yeah, your aim is to just sort of try and focus, kind of think like Persona when you're getting up your social links. Just try and focus on one pigeon and reach the end of their sort of story or their scenario and just see what happens. I've completed it 4 times now. I've romanced 4 different pigeons each time you start the game again. And yeah, like I said, when the game starts, it's quite whimsical, quite carefree, you know, very, very sort of silly. And then as you get to the end, sort of like few scenes with, you know, whichever pigeon you're dating or trying to date, it gets really dark. It ends up dealing with a lot of like very serious issues, like not being supported or loved by your parents, which Sakuya here, who's a very pretentious Japanese pigeon who has the sort of like ideas that he's actually French, comes from a very posh rich pigeon family, and he's just not loved or supported by his dad, and isn't supported in his love for music, and that makes him sort of like act out as a sort of bully. You know, there are other pigeons whose other, you know, significant others have like died and passed away, and they're having real difficulty getting over that. Another pigeon, his mum passes away throughout the story, and you have to deal with trying to sort of like show your love for him whilst at the same time accept that he's having to deal with the fact that he's lost another sort of like important female figure in his life. So, you know, it does get surprisingly deep, you know, maybe a little bit dark at times, but it's nonetheless just a very, very interesting game. And I have heard that when you actually play through and complete all the scenarios, that unlocks this sort of New Game Plus thing, which completely apparently just spins everything around and sort of reveals this big sort of ulterior motive for everything that's going on, like almost like a conspiracy thing, I kind of guess. I haven't looked into what that actually is, because I'll be quite surprised to try and find it, and I want to try and unlock all the scenarios by myself. Because it is fun playing through the game multiple times. Like I said, the opening, you know, sort of like 10 minutes or so are the same for every time you play through, but then as you make different choices, for example, you can choose which clubs you want to sort of belong to, like whether it's sort of like the class president club or the track club, things like that. You can choose what lessons to do, whether you want to do like maths or music, and all of these things have bearings on which pigeons you're going to interact with, and which choices you have later on in the game, like which pigeons you're going to hang out with when you go out for a sort of like day trip and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend this game. Like I was saying to my friend Matt on the Chit Chat with Tim and Matt podcast yesterday, that I fucking love the fact that I live in a world where games like Hatoful Boyfriend are being made and released on console to quite sort of like good sort of critical acclaim as well. Like, you just would never have seen this really on, you know, the PS2 or anything outside of Japan. Something like this would just have never ever come to the West. But you know, with digital distribution and like the rise of like indie developers and indie games, things like this are becoming more and more common. And the fact that you can just play through this game and just look at these screenshots and just think, what am I doing, is just such an amazing feeling. Like, it's so good. And you know, the price is very attractive as well. In England, it's I believe the game was $6.99 or $7.99, plus you got an extra 20% off if you're a PS Plus member, which put it down to around about $5.50, something like that. And I've already had many hours of good fun with this game. You know, it's already paid for itself without a doubt. So yeah, I would definitely say, if you want to try something just different and unique, and like, you know, if you're one of those sorts of people who looks at Japanese, you know, anime and stuff like that and thinks, oh, it's all perverted and things like that, there isn't really anything like that in here. There's no upskirt shots or tentacles or anything. Like, it's actually quite a good-natured, you know, very interesting game, which does start out as, you know, a very silly bit of fun, but then, like I said, as you get to the end of each story, it does actually try and tackle some like quite difficult adult sort of issues, which just is so weird when you actually think about that and then think, but I am playing a pigeon dating simulator. So yeah, that's Hatoful Boyfriend, or as they call it in Japan, Hatoful Boyfriend. And yeah, I just can't stress how much I'm enjoying this game. I'm cross-playing it between my Vita and PS4. And it is a perfect game. You can save at any time, anywhere. It's a perfect game to have on your Vita when you're out and about, you know, just sort of like on the bus, or you know, on your lunch break at work or college, uni, wherever you are. It's just a fun game, and like I said, the more you play it, the more time you put into it, the more you are going to get out of it. It's very interesting, and yeah, there is a lot of actual sort of hidden depth to the game. So yeah, that's Hatoful Boyfriend, and I shall leave you, as I can't wait to just go and play some more scenarios and just get thoroughly stuck in to some good pigeony goodness. So thank you very much, guys. I've been Timmy Garrett with Bridgeburner Gaming, as always in association with fishmonkeyproductions.com. And like I said, yeah, if you listen to our latest podcast this week, episode 8 of Chit Chat with Tim and Matt, I do go into a little bit more depth into what I like and love about Hatoful Boyfriend. So thank you very much, everyone, and I shall see you all later. Bye. Bye.